welcome to the vlog that is literally not our pre-start, but our tiles and flooring and all that sort of selection stuff that you generally try to do before pre-start at a separate place, because separate places have all the better tile options. Already, just ignore the lighting, it's not the greatest. I've got what I thought was a cold sore, turned out it wasn't, on my face, and I don't look that great, and I've also spilt pasta sauce on my shirt. But ignoring all that, let's go first to Trevor's Carpets, which is where we selected our carpets and our flooring in general. And let's just get straight into it. Yeah, so these are all the options for the builder's range. That's it, first view, 33 Ocean. And which floor did you like?
The light grey. Oh, dark grey.
Dark grey. I mean, there's also a slightly darker. It's a bit warmer. Okay. So these ones are up to there, are the longer lasting ones. Those ones are softer, the ones we originally liked, but don't last as long. So I think we're going to this as a more neutral colour. Is that right? Rather than the blue?
Yeah.
Because we can put rugs on top. Okay, I'm just going to jump back in because there was something we added that wasn't included, like I didn't video because we were talking to the lady about it. But the carpets we went with is quite thin. And so instead of getting the standard underlay, we got the thicker underlay that will last a lot longer and be nicer for a lot longer as well. So just gives a little bit of extra thickness rather than feeling like you're walking straight on carpet that's directly on top of the concrete. Was an extra, I think it came to $400. I did know this right after, but it's been a couple of weeks now. But that was for like all the carpeted areas in our house. We have the theatre, all the bedrooms, and that's it. I don't know where I was going with the "and" there, but yeah. I think it was, or maybe it was 200. I don't know, but it wasn't as bad as we thought it would be, and we thought if worst comes to worst, we can pay that out of pocket rather than going and using finance to pay for that. So we definitely ticked that one off. Moving on, we then went to Crosby's Tiles, which was literally right next door when we went to the Mairie one last time, but this time it was just a little bit up the road. We just had to drive a couple of minutes because we went to the Osborne Park bigger warehouses this time around. We didn't last time because we just didn't want to. It was still really COVID strict back then. It was just coming out of a lockdown, I think, or just going into one of the first lockdowns when we first started building. But yeah, this time we went to the big store and I'm glad we did. I actually really like our selections, and I guess I'll let you guys discover what they are. Make my bench nicely, thanks. Okay. So white benches, cabinets, that grey, it's also bright on here, and the blue. So I think that's our favourite so far.
Yeah, easily.
Yeah, I know. I mean, that one's discontinued and so is that one, but...
I think that's why it's not because we can afford it. When we did vinyl, it's so much easier.
Yeah, I know.
We just
vinyl was less options. So you don't like that one at all?
I'm the biggest fan.
Okay. Well, we'll go back over there then. That is still incredibly terrifying.
Yes.
I feel like it might be one of these two.
Alright.
What do you think?
I think so too.
Yeah.
We wanted the bathroom because we wanted kind of...
Oh, I sort of wanted different...
Yeah, but not want it to be the same. We want it to blend in.
Yeah,
not be
I know,
like
but...
crap, like something's different.
The bath...
Stop sulking. Say what you want.
This is going to be on the feature wall at the back, and then this is going to be on the other walls and like all the lining stuff.
That's the bench.
That's the bench top, and then this is the cabinetry in the bathroom.
She's all starting to work together now, I think.
Okay. Oh, that just looks black on camera, but for future, it is blue.
Okay.
So splashback in the kitchen, bench tops in the kitchen, cabinetry in the kitchen. This style but bigger in the living dining kitchen area, and then this tile for the floor and the laundry.
In all wet areas.
Yeah, all wet areas. So then in the main bathroom, kids bathroom, it's going to be this cabinet, the plain white bench top, this feature wall, this normal wall, this for the floor. And then in the ensuite, it's going to be this darker feature wall, white gloss other walls, this floor tile, and then we're going to have this cabinet and this bench top. So drift white. And I hope that all made sense. It was sort of just a quick run through. Don't know why that was so hard to say. Once we finally made our decisions, it was very difficult. There was a lot of options to choose from, but then like where we wanted more options, like the feature tiles, there was options, but they just didn't go well together. I found a lot of stuff, the tones were just off, and there was no matching tones between the feature walls and the like normal tile. And yeah, I don't know. I really wish you could see this sort of stuff in person, but you can't until the house is built. So we've really just got to trust our gut, and we did have a bit of fun, whereas last time we were so set that this probably wouldn't end up being our future house, forever house, whatever you want to call it. And so we were definitely making sure to try and make it resellable fairly rapidly in the future, whereas this house we're probably going to be in for a lot longer. And we're also just a bit more comfortable, I guess is probably one of the words for it. And we basically had our splash of colour in the splash back on the kitchen wall, which looked really dark. I don't know if it's because there's so much white going on in the background, but that tile was actually a really like rich blue, and all my phones and cameras kept picking it up as like a black, but it's a really rich, deep, vibrant blue. Deep, vibrant, I don't know if they work together, but it looks really cool. There's also a lot of natural variety in the tiles themselves, so there's like going to be different tones, and it's not all just going to be the exact same tile over and over again. We also chose our grout colours, but we honestly just went with what the lady suggested. Most of the time we don't really know much about grout. We went with the basics, and there was like one time that we picked, but it's grout. I don't really like, yeah, anyway. The one thing we did have to pay for extra in this was the subway tiles. Those blue tiles we're using as a backsplash were extra. The tiles themselves were the same cost, but there was extra installation costs. I don't know why I can't speak today, but the installation cost was extra. I think just because they're harder to lay. There's like smaller tiles, so yeah, it costs the same amount, but you got to lay more tiles to get the same area done. So we put a little bit of extra money in that spot, and we also had to pay a little extra for installation of those subway tiles, because all our other tiles are going to be stacked on top of each other, like, how do I describe this, sort of like in straight lines, so phone, tile, but our subway tiles are going to be more stacked more like bricks, if that makes sense. So dunt, and then one in the middle. I don't know how to describe that, but they're going to be stacked differently, and that obviously is more labor intensive because they actually have to measure, you know, halfway between the tile below is right where you got to put the edges of the tiles above. Hello, focus. But it might be switched around. But all in all the extras we paid for was only a couple hundred, and we'll probably be able to get that out of our actual loan, because we've got a little bit of fiddle room. But at the same time, if we can't, we can definitely afford those upfront ourselves. And they're the sort of things like, we're not going to put so much money into we're going to go with the standard taps and door handles and stuff like that, because I can change that, and my family, like, those things are easy to change afterwards. The tiles, the bench tops, I mean, the carpet's sort of easy to change, but you don't want to pull up brand new carpet to put a different underlay down. So all that sort of stuff that's sort of fixed and very permanent, I mean, everything can be changed, but you know what I mean. That stuff, we're paying for the extra up front. Taps and shower knobs, what are they called? Shower heads and all that sort of stuff, we can change afterwards fairly easily. So we're not worrying about paying extra for those. We're going to focus on the stuff that we can't change ourselves in our own time, and putting the money into those sorts of things, like putting in extra power points, which we can do, and I think my dad can legally do that, but at the same time it's really hard, especially in a brick construction, to add power points in the single wall bits. So we just do it all at the start. Anyway, now that I've had my little ramble, that is it for the video. I hope you enjoyed. I hope you like our selections. Please leave any input down below. Not that we can change them now, but still interesting to know. And yeah, we actually have an Instagram account for specifically our build. I'm pretty sure it's called The Monkey's Nest, but I'll link it in the description. Hopefully I remember. Apparently I can't video today, but yeah, thanks for watching. See you guys in the next video. Bye. Peoples. I almost forgot the people.